NBC News international affairs analyst and former U.S. Ambassador to Russia, Michael McFaul, joins us now. Ambassador, thank you so much for being with us. Just, I guess, level with us here. Is Ukraine right now losing this war?
Well, before I answer that question, I just want to thank you for showing what you just did from Chernihiv. 17 people were killed there. That was a terrorist attack. 17 more people were killed there than were killed in Israel. We all saw that horrendous terrorist attack from the Iranians, but it was stopped because they had the weapons to stop it. Yet what you're showing on your screen right now happens every single day in Ukraine. And so it is time that Congress, several months, September, they've been debating this. It is time for them to pass this assistance, because if they don't, not only will Ukraine begin to lose on the battlefront, they're losing incrementally. To answer your specific question, they've lost a few key cities, but everybody I talked to, including somebody who was just on the front line yesterday, says that in a matter of weeks, they will begin to lose much more territory on the battlefront, but they will also continue to lose civilians, just as you were showing, without our missile defense assistance now.
Civilians, morale, I've been reading reports of artillery groups with no artillery to use in their fight against Russia. Zelensky has been drawing comparisons between the aid they're getting versus Israel. You made a similar comparison here. His take right now is that Israel is not NATO and they got allied defense. Does he have a point there, or is that just an unfair comparison?
I think rather than saying, you know, they're doing that, give us that, we should be inspired by how well our air defenses worked in combating and thwarting the Iranian attack, and aspire to do exactly the same in Ukraine. It's the same technology. We're the same country. We can do this with other allies in the NATO alliance. It just takes the will to provide those kinds of weapons and the assistance that the Congress has to approve.
And when we're talking about those weapons, I mean, we did see U.S. military jets in the sky above possibly Jordan, Israel, that whole area, shooting down some of these drones. If that doesn't happen in Ukraine, but Ukraine gets some of the air defense systems that they are requesting, would that turn the tide of the war?
Well, I would say two things. One, nobody knows for sure. I want to be clear about that. Two, colleagues I talked to in Kiev, literally almost every day, believe absolutely so. And they're very specific about what they think they need. They're not asking for Americans to be involved. Americans were involved in the defense of Israel. They're not asking for that. All they're asking for are weapon systems, and three kinds in particular. One, missile defenses to protect their civilians against these kinds of attacks that you're showing right now. Two, aircraft, F-16 specifically. By the way, they're not even asking them from us. They're asking them from the NATO alliance. They think that that will help them deter the attacks that they are getting from Russian aircraft that are shooting into their country. And three, they want long-range missile systems from us. That's a system called the ATACMS that would allow them to attack military targets deeper into occupied territory, particularly in the occupied region of Crimea. They think if they had those three weapon systems, that would turn the tide in favor of Ukraine.
That's what they're asking for. Is that what's in the current bill, this current aid package that's being discussed this weekend? Is what we're possibly going to send, if that's voted on, is that going to be enough?
That's a great question. We actually don't know the details of what that money would buy. And I hope as we have a debate this week, people should ask, members of Congress should ask what they are buying, what this money will go for, and get more response from the Biden administration about what they intend to do. Because I think the American people have a right to know, will this money just go to continue the stalemate, or will this money go to provide new kinds of systems like the ones I just outlined that would help change the balance of power on the battlefield? And most certainly, I lean towards the latter. But right now, that's ambiguous. It's not exactly clear.
Ambassador, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.